All right, guys, welcome to episode number 4 of the Fourth and Gone podcast. Yesterday, we had, in my opinion, the best Super Bowl game in the past 5 years. Kansas City
Correct.
Chiefs.
2019.
We could go into that
versus
later,
Ram.
Mr. Patriots fan.
That Super Bowl was
13-3.
terrible.
That was garbage.
That was probably the worst Super Bowl game I've ever saw,
What was
period.
the final score? 17-10.
No, I think
13-3.
13-3.
Oh my
One
bad.
touchdown.
it's crazy.
All right, anyways, we saw the Chiefs kick a game-winning field goal against the Philadelphia Eagles, and they won the game by a score of 38-35. Patrick Mahomes looked like he took a bit of a rough landing there to end the first half, but I don't know what kind of drugs they gave him at halftime, but that ankle looked fine.
They gave him like 6 Percocets and get on the field, pal.
he
In the
did not
Toradol.
feel anything. Patty Mahomes ended the day going 21 for 27, 182, 3 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 96.4. Isaiah Pacheco, who I said was going to have a very handsome game in the trenches last week, he finished with 15 carries for 76 yards, really running hard. Travis Kelce, as expected, was the Chiefs' leading receiver, going 6 for 81. And then my personal biggest positive takeaway from the Kansas City Chiefs this game was their offensive line. I think that when they saw Mahomes get the bit of a scare going into the locker room at halftime, I think they really stuck together and said, if we want to win this game, we got to protect our $500 million quarterback at all costs.
Worth it.
On the other side of the coin, Jalen Hurts had an even better game, going 27 for 38, 304, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 79.7. He was also the Eagles' leading rusher, 15 attempts, 70 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Devontae Smith had a 100-yard day, catching 7 passes, and he had a huge monster game-saving catch on the sidelines. He got wide open. That enabled Jalen Hurts to get his 3rd rushing touchdown. But unfortunately, things didn't work out for them as Kansas City Chiefs were really able to manage the clock well, get in field goal range. Harrison Butker knocked it through the uprights to end the game. What do we think about this game? What do we take away? What do we look forward to from both teams heading into the offseason and into next season?
Well, I think most of us expected the Eagles to jump out to a lead in the beginning. They did. They had a solid, I think it's 10-point lead going into halftime. But then out the turntables, they blew that game. Chiefs come back. In
How do
the
we
first
remove
half,
someone?
the Eagles absolutely dominated possession of ball. I think there was 21 to 8, 30 or whatever. Chiefs barely had the ball compared to the Eagles. Great managing of the clock. And besides that turnover by Jalen Hurts, that was kind of tough. Pacheco looked absolutely outstanding. He's just, I said I couldn't see it happen, but I wanted to see it happen. It did happen. I love to see the Eagles lose. It was great. I think there's a lot of controversy on that left there. In my eyes, Juju was held a little bit earlier in that game on a 3rd and 5, maybe something like that. Kind of made up for that. And I don't know. I think the Eagles couldn't get to Mahomes really that much. He was able to run a little bit, which was kind of unexpected. Hurts ran a lot. I think he might have been their leading rusher. He was great. He played a good game. Besides that turnover, but it just wasn't enough to compete with the Chiefs. Let's talk about the grass a little bit. I think there was 2 years in the making, and everyone was slipping all over the place. It was crazy, especially in the second half. Apparently, it's due to the halftime show, but you got to be professional. It's Super Bowl. You got to expect that. Other than that, I like the outcome. Great game. Tails never fails. Yeah. So
Was it
I
the
have a quick-
hybrid playing field? Or no? Like, was it like half turf, half grass? Or what? I think it was.
I heard it was
think it
over
was just
like
grass.
flooded. I heard it was like over like the grass was like super wet.
Yeah, like after the halftime show, like the grass got all slick, and it was like the grass was too thin or something. I don't know.
Apparently they had issues with the like at half as well. So I think it was during the entire game they dealt with it.
Yeah. Apparently,
I have a
also the
fast
guy
question
who
for you, though.
manages the field is like 94 years old. I don't know who assigned him.
That was his last Super Bowl.
That was his last game.
That's
Frank, I have a
ridiculous.
quick question for you. It's 2 words. Kadarius Toney. How sad are you?
Not sad. He made the Eagles lose, and that was the game plan.
That's an ex-Giant they basically got nothing for that basically had a
We
touchdown.
trade away Tony. He has a decent game, especially with the punt return. Basically it.
James
Bradbury with a
Bradbury.
key holding, and we just I don't know. Giants getting back the Eagles. Really got him into genius. He knew he wouldn't have cap to sign Bradbury, and he knew we wouldn't keep Tony. We would have to trade him to the Chiefs. So I mean, I kind of like the outcome.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it was a good game. I really think that the Eagles could have done a little more. I mean, that fumble by Jalen Hurts was horrendous. No one even touched him. He just threw the ball backwards and then even kicked it for the defense so they could just run it right in for a touchdown. The receiving game for the Eagles was really good. Almost 100 yards for 2 receivers, but the running backs had less than 50 yards combined for all of them. I think that was a big part of why they couldn't get the game going, even though Jalen Hurts had 70 of those rushing yards. I think Mahomes looked pretty good. Didn't look as good as Hurts did, but I think a big point was like Jack said, the offensive line didn't allow a single sack to the team who led the league in sacks this year. Yeah, I just think it was a pretty good game for the Chiefs, but it could have went either way.
And Matt, I'd also just like to add kind of what you were saying about the Philly running backs. There was no trench game whatsoever. I was very disappointed.
Well, besides all those QB sneaks, those were crazy. Successful every single time. I don't know how you stop that. Really, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was saying to my dad last night, we were watching the game. I was like, the Eagles run the quarterback sneak differently than any other NFL team. And it's so simple. You crowd the offensive line with as many big bodies as you can.
I don't know if it's that simple.
I
If
think
you
it's just
look
the fact they got absolute dogs in the line.
Yeah, if you look at Jason Kelsey compared to like a D lineman, there's no way someone's stopping that man. That guy is an absolute beast up there.
They got 5 beasts up there. Lane Johnson.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Tejada.
They're all
Philly
tanks.
special.
Let's talk about a guy that no one really talked about. Mr. Joe Thuney, ex-Patriot, ex-Legend. Great game up front. Like barely any pressures, no sacks. Great game by the Chiefs O-line. I honestly think they're the reason they won that game. The most sacks by a team for the season. Held them to 0. Gotta help them. You know? But yeah,
The
so
game plan's kind of flipped between the Eagles and the Chiefs. Usually the Eagles are the team that runs the ball more. And the Chiefs have had better
100%.
success. And then the Eagles actually passed more than the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was shocked on that too. I really thought they were gonna get sacked a bunch because normally that's like, I remember, I think it was the Bucks. It was Chiefs versus
Yeah,
Bucks.
the Bucks
They had
Super Bowl with the Chiefs.
the Chiefs basically had like 7 6th graders up front, and they were just like having a blast. There was nothing going on up front, but this game looked great. Jalen Hurts showed that he's got a future in the NFL. He's really, really good, and I think he is. We all kind of expected the Eagles to go up first. Mahomes took a hard hit, and like towards the end, took a couple perks, and was basically like he had no feeling in his legs. He looked really, really good. I thought it was a really fun game to watch. Super entertaining the entire way through. Travis Kelce is super entertaining. Jason Kelce as well. A little brotherly bowl. They won me $5,000. I got nothing else to say. I'm a little annoyed that the Eagles lost, but at the end of the day, happy for Pat Mahomes and well deserved. Great player. I'm excited to see him in the future.
Yeah, that was a great game. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback, and he just established that this game at a very young, ripe age. What was it, 24, 23, something like that? I don't know how old he is, but
24,
also
24.
yeah. See, I was right. Shouldn't second guess myself.
RJ
and-
Barrett just hit the locker room. Sorry.
What?
RJ Barrett just headed to the locker room.
Damn. And I think this is the start of a dynasty with Pat Mahomes. He has the Michael Jordan effect, where he just makes guys all around him even better. Darius Toney, Sky Moore, guys like that. Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco does it on his own. He's just a beast. He's proven that week after week. And yeah, nothing else to say. You guys kind of hit everything. Good game to watch. Sucky halftime show. Let's be real. I don't care if she was pregnant. That was terrible. Let's just be honest.
I didn't
Pregnant,
like that
man. What
take.
else do you want?
I didn't like that take. I thought it was good.
Songs
No.
were good. She just was a little restricting.
Yeah, I don't think that was a horrible halftime show. She really couldn't. What do you expect a pregnant woman to do? Like do like jumping jacks?
Nothing. That's why she
Sang
should
her
have got a
songs
feature.
well.
Should have got a feature. That's
I
what I'm
kind
saying.
of don't like the ones without. I like the ones without features. Like what do you expect? Kanye West on the
Oh,
field?
come on.
Then half the
Dude,
I
God.
thought Jay-Z was.
He sang 3
Jay-
Kanye songs.
No, Kanye is not coming out, bro. I thought Jay-Z.
Yeah,
was
I
gonna
know
come out.
it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen, but
Jay-
Jay-Z
Jay-Z
was there
wasn't
too.
an
He could've
attendance,
came
though.
out.
at least play a recording of him or something.
Well, if they play a
No.
recording of them, then you have about a
They would
very
stop
angry
the show, bro. They would pull the plug.
It'd
All
be a very bad publicity for the NFL.
I'd like to wrap up the Super Bowl segment with 2 images, if you don't mind me sharing my screen right now.
All right.
Hold on.
We're
We all
professional.
mind, Jack. We all mind.
All right. You know what? That's not going to work out right now, but
Jack, I'm seeing you in a bathtub.
Yeah, come on, man.
I was gonna pull up a
Put
picture.
some clothes on, man.
I was gonna pull up a picture, a side by side, of the called PI.
Oh yeah, the Saints Rams.
No, the one against Alan Lazard and Sean Murphy.
Okay.
Oh my
wow.
God, wrap it up.
Shut up.
Going out.
The,
Shut
the
up,
worst no
dude.
call in NFL
Oh,
history.
shut
No
up.
one knew
All right,
this
No
guy.
call in
Come
NFL
on.
All
history.
right, all right. I
Green
think
Bay
we
would
should
have
kick
won the
host.
game. Green Bay would have
I
won
think
that
we
game.
should kick the host.
They got that call.
All right, back to
Yeah, and
basketball.
they
What an
decided to
eventful
call the
couple
one
weeks.
against Juju last night.
All right,
Oh
so
my.
basketball this past couple weeks, we had some superstars go away. KD left the Nets. I don't think it was intentionally. I didn't know if he wanted to go. Of course, like when they gave him that out route, I think he did take it. Kyrie's gone. He's in Dallas now. Kevin Durant's in Phoenix. Westbrook's where? All right, awesome. No one knows.
Westbrook's on the Jazz now.
Westbrook's on the Jazz. Who'd they get for him?
Oh, they got they got D'Lo. It was the 3-man trade. Lakers got
Who
D'Lo.
did they give away Pat Bev to?
Pat Bev's on the Timberwolves again.
I hope Pat Bev does well. Super entertaining to watch. He's kind of pretty bad right now. When he's talking smack, dropping 9 points and 3 rebounds. It's kind of hard for him to hold water.
Well, I mean, that's not his game. Offense is not his game. He's a pesky defender. Pesky.
Yeah, well, we have 2 Nets fans here. Me and Nick Renato. It's been a weird couple of weeks. I'd put it there.
It's been a roller coaster, but honestly, I'm happy the way this ended out. I'm just happy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think give us like 2 years, we're gonna be them. And I think still this year we could be playoff contenders. And I just think what the team needs right now, watching the past couple of games, like especially like this one now, there's no team chemistry, and you can that's completely okay because they just lost 2 of their superstars. They got like 3 or 4 new guys that are like basically starters.
Yeah.
It just looks it's like sloppy basketball. But at the end of the day, though, they have like when you were watching like very beginning like Nets basketball when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were both healthy, it was so entertaining to watch. The way they were just moving that basketball like nothing. But now it's like they're throwing the ball in the bleachers, the stands. It's hitting people's heads. It's fun basketball. It's interesting.
Yeah, but like you get all that without the headache of having Kyrie and KD on your team. Like these are all
No,
guys
100%.
who want to be there every single day. Like I already love Mikal Bridges.
Oh yeah,
He made it
100%.
back
You know
and
he
he-
hasn't missed a game since high school.
I know 400 what 400 like 2 or 3 consecutive games. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's awesome. Kyrie Irving played like what 16 games last year. I mean, what like there are big three: Harden, Kyrie, and KD played 16 games together, 13-3,
Oh my gosh, don't even.
and they were together what for 3 years.
Yep.
So it's nice having these young kids want to play basketball, want to get their contracts, not already have them and just play willy nilly.
Yeah, I
All right, some
definitely
big
agree.
news that also occurred in the NBA. LeBron James, lead NBA scorer all time.
You could tell Kareem just wanted to get out of his seat and swat that ball.
Oh, did you see Kareem? Like after he hit it, he was like straight faced and he was just standing and he just looked so upset.
Yeah. He's like, if I
Good for
wanted to play
LeBron.
for longevity back then, I could have too.
Good for LeBron though. Well deserved.
Yeah, yeah.
He's one of those
Not the
guys
biggest
in the
LeBron
league
fan,
that's
but
just
you know what? Yeah.
yeah, me either, but well deserved. If you want to like super healthy guy, tries to play all of his games, but like okay, like now he may be like willy nilly on the court because he's older, but like back then he played every minute and he tried his best to win every game. I just think it's
Yeah.
more fun. He beat the record and then proceeded to lose the game, but he celebrated like he won the game.
Yeah, I think that after that he cemented himself as the second best player of all time. Of course,
I think we should
behind
talk about the discussion right now. Let's
behind
go.
the
Let's
GOAT.
do a little MJ. Let's do it.
We got
Jack, where do you stand?
All right. Obviously, this is a very controversial discussion. It's brought up a lot. A lot of people have very varying viewpoints on whether LeBron's the GOAT or MJ's the GOAT. Personally, I'm gonna do the typical 40-year-old dad argument. I think MJ played in an era of basketball where less fouls were called, the players were allowed to play more. Those bad boys Pistons teams, brutal. Brutal.
Are you talking about like Mouse and the Palace type of Pistons team?
Yeah.
That was so fun. You ever watch that documentary like 60 for 60 by like Netflix or whatever?
I watched the Last Dance and they covered it a lot.
You got to watch the actual Mouse and the Palace one. It's so
I
good.
was planning on it. So, anyways, I just think MJ played in a tougher era of basketball. I mean, yeah, LeBron has more points. You know,
He also played 500 more games than Michael Jordan. So I think it's very hard to compare their. I don't think it's fair to compare them. If you want me to be honest with you, they played from two different types of basketball.
That's a
Everything
fair
was
point.
different. Michael Jordan also took a 2-year gap to pursue his dreams of baseball. That went super well for him. Then he went to Charlotte, basically tanked his career for 2 years, and then it was basically done. But I don't think it's fair to judge them two. Like you can't say like one's better than the other because the basketball that we're watching now is completely different. Like what Jack said, like the 40-year-old argument. If you look at some of these, like LeBron James literally got poked in the eye and took 108 seconds to like get off the court. While like some guy tore his ACL in football or like I can't remember, but like
it was Joe Burrow.
yeah, Joe Burrow like tore his ACL and took him like 4 seconds to get off the field. Like he literally ran off. But like I think that's just I know that's two different sports, but that's like how basketball is now. Like it's more of like a flop and get your call and hit. You
Yeah.
want to hit your free throws, which is fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like same with soccer. Like you'd rather have like the better shot. Like, but it's not fair to compare them.
in 1990s basketball, you were playing to drive the ball to the basket, as basketball should be. Now you're playing to go to the free throw line.
Yeah.
So LeBron is a great actor. He gets a ton of free throws. But I just think overall, I think MJ's the tougher player. I think MJ's teams are better than LeBron's teams. I mean, I really like that Heat team with him, Bosh, and Wade. But I personally, I prefer MJ's career over LeBron's. Like, I respect LeBron's greatness. I respect the fact that I'm watching history as he broke the points record a few nights ago. But overall, I just prefer MJ. I prefer his toughness. I prefer his resilience. I even prefer his athleticism. I think he's a better dunker than LeBron.
Yeah, I agree. I think Michael Jordan played significantly less games than LeBron has, and he still has so many more accomplishments under his belt, more championships, more MVPs, all this stuff. I just think that you can't take away from how good Michael Jordan was. I think he's the greatest of all time, and I think it's going to be that way for a very long time, if not for all time.
I couldn't
Yeah,
agree more.
I think Michael Jordan is probably definitely the better player. But LeBron has a lot of statistical accomplishments. Just like personally, it's not really like too many team accomplishments like championships. But it's two different eras really. With Michael Jordan playing against kind of I guess you could say worse competition because just now with just technically population growth, more people, it's more selective to make it to the NBA. Everyone is an athlete. You don't just have tall guys that like can't move. Everyone can move no matter what size you are. Everyone in the NBA is an athlete. It's just
Would you say the NBA is easier to score now than before?
Definitely.
probably, yeah.
Okay.
That's because Shaq's not in the league anymore.
I thought you're right here. You still have time.
That's because everyone like trains just to mostly to score, and no one really trains to play defense.
That's why the 3-pointers. So that's why all the elite 3-pointers are all people that are still in the league now, like Dame, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. All those people are still playing because that's just how basketball is now. Like if you go to if you see like these kids from like high school or whatever, you won't see them like unless they're like super tall like Chet. But even Chet's like deep. But like you can see these kids just take all these crazy logo threes. It's just kind of how basketball is now. Like you'll see Steph Curry take a logo 3 and it's like normal. Like you saw that in like 1990. Like that's insane.
Yeah, back then the cool thing was to dunk. Now the cool thing is to hit a logo 3. So
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah,
just-
when you
that's
get
just the way
Steph Curry
things
like shooting from like
change.
the Chase logo, that's insane.
yeah, that almost Dinwiddie game winner the other night.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started about that, man. Because like it was so funny because like of course it didn't count, but like if you look at the tapes, technically fouled James Harden at 12.5, but they missed it, so we would have had time to like.
That game was terrible. They were getting fouled all game. They went
I
to the
hate
free
James
throw
Harden.
line once. That whole
That-
first half. It was terrible.
That game bothered me because I just genuinely hate James Harden. I hate that guy so much.
So fucking annoying. I'm sorry. So freaking
I'm so glad
annoying.
we got
I'm
Ben
sorry.
Simmons
Sorry.
though. Thank God.
No, he's terrible.
That sucks.
What do you mean, dude? Ben Simmons is him.
Oh man.
Yeah, you
He's my
gotta.
goat, baby. Ben Simmons, my goat.
I like that jersey a lot though. I like it better than the yellow font last year.
I was gonna get Kyrie, but then he was in some drama this year, and I was like, okay, you know what I'm not gonna get? Kevin Durant. He's probably gonna get traded this year. So I was like, you know who's the guy that's more secure than rocks? Ben Simmons.
It's like me getting a Kenny Galladay jersey because his
Exactly. He's
contract
not
is so
going
bad you can't trade
anywhere.
him.
You would have to give away people to get Ben Simmons. Get him like you would have to give away like 3 picks to get give away Ben Simmons. So what a Ben Simmons jersey and like the cool colorway.
Okay, going back to the MJ LeBron debate, I feel like if MJ's goal was to be like play for longevity and be like a player that wanted to play for longevity, I feel like he could have broken Kareem's record if he really wanted
He
to.
wouldn't have went to baseball, period. If he wanted to be that guy to be like all these stats, he wouldn't have went to baseball. No guy's like leading everything and just been like, all right, I hate basketball now. I'm picking up
Drops
baseball.
everything.
That's what I'm saying. He literally dropped an insane MVP, like Hall of Fame career, which he's still a Hall of Famer, but like insane, like best basketball player ever career, and started playing minor league baseball. You can't name
Wild.
a player
That's
that has ever
completely
done
wild.
that.
Bo Jackson.
That's true.
No, he did both.
Bo
though.
Jackson actually had a successful MLB run though for a little bit.
That's true. He did. What did he play on the White Sox?
The Royals.
Royals.
That's
Barry
it. He was
Sanders.
good though.
No, what am I saying?
Yeah, Deion
Deion
Sanders playing
Sanders.
too. He was
Sorry.
decent.
Oh, we just got rocked by the Knicks today.
Fuck.
I also
Sorry.
have another argument for Jordan. I mean, obviously he tried doing the baseball thing, but that guy wasn't a bad golfer either.
You
You
know
gotta
who's not a
admit-
bad golfer? Is it RJ Smith? What's the guy that used to be the Knicks?
J.R.
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 Smith.
J.R. Smith.
Isn't he like a top college like golfer right now?
Collegiate golfer, yeah.
What? Yeah, J.R. Smith like went back to college and became like an elite golfer.
What?
You didn't hear
How is
about
this
that?
the first time I'm
Yeah.
hearing this?
Yeah.
He was like a top golfer and he's like 40, which is so funny. What team is he on? Is he on like North Carolina?
I don't know. I remember.
College.
Yeah.
I think he went
He's
to
in North
UNC,
Carolina.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
one of the top golfers like in the country right now in college.
I think the golf argument is more convincing than people think at first, because like to play golf requires so much concentration and focus and like just
But Jack,
being able to keep your calm, keep your composure. And I just feel like the best athletes in the world, like across all major sports, are all successful golfers. You got to think about Tom
I'm
Brady.
not trying to sound stupid or anything, but I feel like when you're like a really good athlete, like successful, like NBA or like NFL,
You can
you're
do anything.
yeah, you're basically
Yeah.
good at everything.
Yeah.
Like look at Josh Allen, really good at golf.
Look at Mookie
Patrick
Betts
Mahomes,
balling up
really good.
300, bro.
Yeah, Mookie Betts is like the biggest athlete you've ever met. That guy plays. He's also really good at football. I think he played flag for a minute, and then he was a bowler that was like insane. He was literally like insane bowler. But you can also look at Mike Trout. Mike Trout has like one of the best swings in golf right now. If you look at that guy, he hits that ball so hard. Like if you watch like some of the clips, he's also damn good. I
But
think like
that
these
one
athletes
video-
that play sports just could be good at like anything they do, not like necessarily golf. Like Michael
Yeah.
Jordan be good at golf. He's probably the same amount of talent in tennis.
Yeah,
If he puts his mind to it. Just
I
some people are just naturally gifted.
I totally see where you're coming from with that. I was
What's it
just
about
using
that?
golf. I was just using golf as an example because I just feel like golf.
Trying to bridge it to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I was gonna say
LeBron James is probably good at golf too, if you want to be honest.
I was gonna use that as my segue into Aaron Rodgers and how elite of a golfer he is. Won another pro-am tournament.
Yeah, maybe we should retire and play golf instead, Jack.
Exactly. Give Jordan Love a chance, man.
How would you feel? Like, you know how you were talking about how you want Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams in jail earlier?
Are we gonna bring this up?
No, I'm not
Wait,
bringing it
in
up.
jail?
How would
What'd
you
they
feel?
do to go in jail?
We're not discussing this right now.
Bro, this was
Jack.
No,
and-
no. We need to discuss this right now. What the
No,
fuck
like
did
we
they
really
do?
can't.
What-
The argument is
the
not fair.
stuff we were saying before you joined the Zoom, Nick, was actually ridiculous.
Why should they go to jail?
think
What is
it's called-
going on?
Jack,
It's just Jack with his
Jack
bad
Wilson
takes,
said?
bro. Just ignore him.
Do you want me to repeat the exact charges that you would like to charge
No.
Quentin Williams?
I think what we should do is we should hold an entire episode devoted to the trial of Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner.
No one would watch that because it's so stupid.
That would get negative.
Was
He
it
was
for
trying to charge
defamation of
Quentin Williams
character?
with
Was it 'cause
first
he stole
degree
his
rape
cheesehead?
on Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my gosh.
And he was trying to charge Sauce Gardner with petty larceny for stealing a cheesehead.
Yeah, which was bought by a fan.
Okay, that's besides the fact though. Wait, what was
I
it?
bet he gave it back.
No, he didn't.
It's-
How do you
Alan,
know? How
Alan
do you
Lazard
know?
knocked it off his head, and he took it, and then he
What's
ran
your
off the field.
evidence?
Took it and ran it off the
He
field.
FaceTimed him. He's like, Sauce, why?
What
you
if he
think-"
gave it to a staff member to give it back afterwards?
Wait, okay, I
I
was
don't
actually
know that.
speculating.
I just saw him run off the field. I'm calling
Exactly.
it
You
like
don't
I
know that
see it.
either, bro. Innocent till proven guilty, Jack.
I'm calling
He
it like
didn't
I
do
see it, bro.
anything. He's not
He's
going
not
to
an
law.
agent
He's
of
not going to.
democracy.
Okay,
Get
wait.
this
I,
guy
I,
outta here.
I saw him steal a cheesehead.
I was
You
segmenting.
saw him through a TV.
Pause. Oh my
It was
god,
fake.
Frank, stop! I was actually proving a point. How would you feel if Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets? Because the Jets have touched bases with the Packers, seeing if their quarterback spot was open.
Fine, I'm cool with that. Fuck the Jets.
Whoa.
How does this? It's like Tom. What? It's like Tom Brady going to like I don't even know. I can't.
There
Like,
should be a
going-
segment of the show
he's
just
in the
Jack writes a bunch
AFC.
of his bad takes, just write them
Robin?
down. Go
He's
one by
in,
one.
he's in the AFC. I don't give a crap where he goes as long as
You're
Jeez,
acting
the
like the
mouth on
Jets are
this
getting
kid.
worse if they get Aaron Rodgers. That's the
yeah,
funny
they
thing.
are. They're getting a washed quarterback who had a quarterback rating below 85 last year.
Did you see his team?
Terrible.
Did
Zach
you
Wilson
see
had
his
like a
team?
30 rating, bro.
He
You're
threw a
trash.
career high in
Anything's
interceptions.
a step up from Mike White and Zach Wilson. Like
Hey.
Frankie Laverty could be a step up from them too.
Yeah, bro, I could take over the Jets. Come on.
The way
What's
that Matt was
Trailblazer?
throwing
The
dimes
offensive
in that
line, but
parking
I'm
lot, he
taking
could be
over.
a step up.
Aaron
Oh.
Rodgers is washed. He should retire and stick to golf.
Jack, you are the most.
Sit in darkness. Do whatever you got to do. Do your little darkness retreat. Go swing a golf club. You're good at it. Very little injury risk.
How many Aaron Rodgers jerseys do you own?
Well, I had one, but I got a tomato sauce stain on it, and it was white.
Okay, no, over your lifetime, how many do you? How many? Because you must have gotten more as you've gotten older.
3.
You've definitely had a green one.
Okay, let's say a jersey averagely runs you up like you have a signed ball by him too.
Yes, I do. I was gifted.
What
as
are you doing? It's like that's your money maker right there. That's your investment.
that was
Like,
when he was.
drug-
That was when he was. I actually had hope for us in the playoffs.
He won back-to-back MVPs like 2 years
He
ago.
won the Super Bowl for you guys. I'm a
Yeah,
Jets
but
fan.
that
I
was
don't
it.
even know
He
what that
plateaued. He
feels
played
like.
last year was his plateau. That
his
was it.
plateau was the MVP.
Yes, exactly. And then he fell off.
Jack, I wanted to add in, Jack,
If
that
you give Tom Brady, Christian Watson, and
okay.
Romeo Dobbs, he could win a Super Bowl.
He didn't win the Super Bowl with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. What makes you think he's gonna win with those two idiots?
He won the Super Bowl with Wes Welker and Julian Edelman.
And Gronk.
Julian Edelman's insane. Okay, I'm not getting on the stuff. I actually like Julian Edelman. Don't even start. Julian Edelman's actually so good. Like playoff wise, Julian Edelman's good. Like he also had Gronk with him. That's not a nobody.
Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, and Danny Amendola.
Danny Amendola's
Rob
good.
Gronkowski.
And Chris, oh my God. Chris Hogan's good. Oh my, get out of here. Get this guy. This guy's horrible. Danny Amendola's good.
If you're really as good of a quarterback,
he actually won a Super Bowl with Brandon Cooks as well.
Really,
Forget all of this.
At this age, at this point in your career, if you're really as good as you say you are, you'll take anything they can give you.
He's getting $49 million this year. I think that's what he's getting.
Sorry, I'm on Access Baseball. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually not kidding though.
Yeah, I know. They're paying you shit ton of money. You let your star all pro wide receiver walk
How is that his fault?
for taking the money.
Is he supposed to say no to a big contract?
Yes.
Yeah,
If he wants the best wide receiver in football to stay on his team.
Jack, they're already talking that they might restructure it if he comes back, if he plays football, if he gets traded.
Who are they going to restructure it for? Watch the DeAndre Hopkins?
Jack, you just complained about the money, and now you say because he's. I'm done.
You can't even argue. This guy's saying Julian
You
Edelman
can't.
like that on the brink of Hall of Fame is not good.
Jack, you're a terrible fan. You're pessimistic as hell. It's not
Okay.
good.
Look at those.
I'm just saying, make me change my mind. That's it.
We're trying, and you're just like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is so
You
bad.
know why? Because you're
Look at it go.
spoiled. You're spoiled. You've never
then-
experienced
He
the
walked
best
out. He
quarterback.
walked out.
Anyone who should be spoiled, it's me. I've won like 5 Super Bowls in my lifetime.
If I was a spoiled fan, would I have this?
Yes.
Dude,
What are
I
you
have a
talking
Mac
about?
Jones. Jack, I have a Mac Jones signed jersey. That guy in my head, he's a top 1 quarterback. He's better than Pat Mahomes in my head. I don't care what anyone says. No one's proving my mind. Okay?
No,
It's a year up there.
That's a
Not
little
clicking
much.
right.
Okay, that's a little much.
It's weird, but that's just how I roll. I bet my money on this guy, so I think he's going to be the best quarterback of all time. He's going to be the next Tom Brady, in my
That's a
opinion.
little much.
Exactly.
You could say you want him to be. You can't say that he is, though.
A little much.
Oh, he is. He's just give him a minute. Give him Bill O'Brien for like 2 years.
He's here
in.
replaced by Zappy next year, bro.
Bro, shut up. Bill O'Brien's got him in good hands.
Yeah. and
You
good-
tell me you could do anything with Matt Patricia calling your calls and Joe Judge. Yeah, how did the Giants do with Joe Judge?
You got rid of him, dude. Why'd you guys take him, clowns?
Matt Patricia's like, I don't think I want to stay. I was like, we don't want you anyway. Go hit the sheets, right? Bill O'Brien's coming back. DeAndre Hopkins said he's willing to play with Bill O'Brien. Let's run it back. Patriots back in the Super Bowl next year. Mac Jones, MVP, Hall of Famer, Mac Jones. Please just do something where I can make back my money.
Bottom line, but my,
I'm
my,
just
my-
asking for,
my-
like,
these
mediocre
are my closing arguments with Rodgers. If you think you deserve $55 million a year at this stage in your career, go out there and win another MVP and win a Super Bowl.
The only okay, but that's not
Oh,
his
that's it. That's all he's got to do, Jack.
Super Bowl.
Didn't
Okay.
he win the
Every year,
MVP
just win the
last
MVP
year?
in the Super Bowl, like Patrick
You know,
Mahomes, freaking magic.
Patrick Mahomes is making less money than he is next year.
But okay, Jack.
Check.
Patrick
There's like a
Mahomes,
90%
doing it
chance
for,
that
like,
Aaron
4
Rodgers
years.
gets deal restructured.
It's Jack. Pat Mahomes has been doing it for the last like 4 or 5 years. Aaron Rodgers has been doing it for the last 15? There's two. You were talking to two different guys.
and how many Super Bowls does he have to show for it? One.
He's got like 10 NFC championship games.
Patrick Mahomes is 15 years younger than him, and he already has more Super Bowls.
Pat Mahomes can tear his ACL and he can be done for the rest of his life.
And tied for MVPs, not to mention.
But Jack, at the end of the day, though, you have Aaron Rodgers that he's been doing it for 15 years. So I don't know. I'd probably pay him more too. Pat Mahomes is good. Don't get me wrong.
You'd pay him more than Patrick Mahomes?
If I know I have one guy for 1 year, 55 million, or a guy that's 10 years, 500 million, and one could get injured in 1 year and his career could be over and I have to pay him 450 million, I'm going to go with Rodgers.
Tom Brady took pay cuts for his entire career
God.
so his team could get Randy Moss.
Jack, stop
That's 'cause
talking.
the
He was
GM
the
coach,
MVP
whatever,
in
is Bill
2021. Shut
Billy
up,
B, baby. Okay, but
please.
Tom Brady played to win. You have two different players. Tom Brady's wife, at the end of the day, made more money than him. He's going to make his money back in the broadcasting, so it doesn't even matter what he made during like his career. He made like $14 million a year with like during the Bucks, during the Super Bowl run or whatever. Who cares? He does not care about money. He cares about winning. You have two different players you're talking about. Aaron Rodgers, at the end of the day, wants his salary. I would be in the same. If you want me to be honest with you, if I was in the NFL and I had a chance of making 14 or 55, what are you taking?
14. And
Scott,
I'm building a
100%
Super Bowl
You're literally
caliber team
lying to
around me.
yourself and to the fans. That is not okay.
Personally,
You were under oath.
I would act like a true leader. I would take a pay cut.
Oh,
the
you
Chiefs
goody
would
two
sign the
shoes.
best
Everyone give it
wide
up for
receiver
Jack
in football.
Eye.
Jack
Everyone give it up for
would lose
Jack
like
Eye,
what,
taking a
$30 million for a ring?
I'll make it up in broadcasting. I'll make it up in broadcasting.
Taking
How do you know you're gonna be? Dude,
Hey,
what?
If I'm gonna win 5,000 Super Bowls, Fox will be more than happy to throw $500,000 my way.
Jack, you don't know how the
half a
sports
billion,
industry
half a billion.
works.
My
Your
bad.
agent is in your ear telling you you can make 55, you can make
Your
60.
agent's in your ear telling you you're the stupidest man alive. Your agent's telling you in your ear he's dropping you tomorrow.
Who
If
are
Aaron
you?
was a true leader, he would have taken a pay cut for Devontae Adams.
He's
Aaron was a
restructuring
true-
this year. That's literally him being like, okay, I want a better team. Restructure my shit so I make the 55 million, but I
Too
get a
little,
better.
too late.
How?
Aaron was a
1
true
year.
leader, and if he was true to his
It was
character,
2
he would
Devontae's
have left
gone.
when Devontae Adams left.
Devontae's gone.
If Jack
Jordy's
roots for your
retired.
team, that team can no longer win in his head. That's how it
Bro,
works.
Jack,
They
they
always
can
do something
trade
wrong.
for DeAndre Hopkins.
Who's what, 30?
Oh,
Dude,
Dude's got
it's,
hands the size of a freaking tank, bro. It's crazy.
dude, you saw
And-
what he did as soon as he got off his suspension.
And-
It's really insane.
Bill Russell has the same size hands.
Bill Russell's pretty good at
Exactly.
basketball.
Bill Russell's
And
like
he's 80 now.
7'2".
Over 80.
Okay.
Can we just end this?
Okay,
Can we
I
please-
think we should
Guys,
move on to
just
reviewing
comment
Tank's
down
takes.
below how terrible Jack's takes are.
All right, before we
I
move
don't
to
think
Tank's
they're that out of.
No, they're
reality.
pretty bad.
Okay.
They're horrible.
So
Okay, before we
you talk
just
about
get-
out of this world, out of this galaxy, and like out of this universe, I would say they're like out of this like universe or like millennium.
No, you're way out of here, dude. You're like on Planet 9. Like if you were high, I'd be cool with it. Like then I'd be like, okay, makes sense.
What did I say not make sense to you? Maybe I could clear myself up.
everything.
everything. Not a
Every
single
time you
sentence
tried to
was-
explain yourself, the argument just got a tick worse.
Yeah, literally, it was like going like. I was like, okay, he's just digging himself a bigger hole to jump in. I was like, all right, this guy's doing great. All right, before we jump into Tank's take, let's just talk about football's over. That's obvious. We're going to be rotating kind of towards more baseball, covering more off-season as well. So, like, kind of understand that the episodes may be shorter. It may look like more like this, kind of like debates about random arguments that we just kind of see online, because it's going to be kind of hard to talk about baseball every week because there's like 6 or 5 games a week. We're going to try to cover each game, like kind of get an idea of who we're going to take, maybe like 15 minutes a week. We'll go over the Mets and Yankees schedule, who we got winning.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
series.
Yeah,
We
go
should do
series to
that.
series each week. Tank will try to like work on the takes. It's gonna be kind of harder because the lines are gonna change over like 7-day period, but he's gonna do his best. We'll probably get like if an episode's coming out on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday, we'll try to get you like the lines that we know for like Wednesday or that Tuesday, so you guys can try to make money as fast as possible. But baseball is kind of just gonna be like covering the Mets and Yankees and like any big moves around the league. Or if there's like a no-hitter or stuff like that, like big stuff, and like we're not really gonna cover like if the Rays beat like the Orioles because no one freaking cares about that stuff. So just kind of expect that. Matt's gonna try to take a little leap on the Mets side to try to understand baseball more this season. And get ready for more Jack's delusional takes. Giancarlo Stanton's the shittiest player this season.
Delusional.
Dude, I remember last year, he was like, Giancarlo Stanton's the most overplayed player in the league.
And he is.
Oh my
After
God.
1 week, Jackson called Aaron Judge washed because he didn't hit a home run.
Dude, he called him washed last year. He's like, couldn't do anything in playoffs. It's like, we got there because of him.
He played
And-
for like 65 games in a row.
and-
Oh my God, he sucks.
Dude, he literally had 3 walk-off home runs and like 4 walk-offs on the season.
What good is he? What good is he if he can't finish the job?
We wouldn't
Shut
be there
up,
in the
Jack.
first place.
Jack, he has a team around him. It's not all on him.
If you're really that good, if you're really worth the money we're
Bryce
paying
Harper
you,
was the best player in the World
Oh.
Series, without a doubt. Bryce Harper, right? Did his team win?
no.
Jack, do you understand
Thank
that
you. Baseball's
sometimes
not a
players get
one-player
into
sport.
slumps, and especially if you've been so hot the whole entire season, like it's okay to be in a little bit of a
And
slump.
also, you watch that guy go into a slump at his last 2 home runs. His swing was literally on the opposite side of the world. He was so like rattled by having to hit that home run record. Literally, the fans and like the broadcast made it so important that he has to hit it. His swing was completely different from his first at bat to his last at bat during the season. So if you really want me to sit here and be like Aaron Judge was washed during the postseason, I don't care. Because he's the reason we got there, and we kind of were the reason that his swing was kind of messed up because we were so into his 62. But at the end of the day, we wouldn't be there without him. So I'm not going to sit here and be like Aaron Judge is washed. That's not fair. We're going to sit here and back up our guys.
And
Yeah, I think
I'm not saying
The GOAT.
I'm as big of a Yankee
The
fan
GOAT.
as you and Frank. I just want to clarify.
Now, do you bleed pinstripes?
I bleed navy blue. You don't
Oh.
understand.
Navy blue. I bleed pinstripes. You
But
bleed batting practice jersey.
but with that in mind, I
Interesting.
don't I do not think Aaron Judge is a bad player. I think
No, I
Aaron
know, but you called him washed during the postseason.
Don't
he's
think
gotta
he's
get
bad.
he's gotta
one
get
of
his
the-
shit
He's one of
together.
the best hitters in the game right now.
There's
Dude,
a
he didn't-
there's a reason
He had a
Derek
war
Jeter
over
was
7
named the
last year.
captain, because he could hit in the playoffs.
yeah, I think that's a perfect segue into Tank's takes review.
I have one thing though. I'll give you this, Jack. Do I think Aaron Judge deserved the key to the city? No. I'll be honest with you. Because he didn't really win anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give him that. I'll give you
Exactly, that's what
I'll
I'm
give you-
saying.
I'll give you that 4 inches. He technically didn't. No, I'm only saying key to the city. That's literally it. He didn't deserve the key to the city because he didn't have anything to show for it. When you have people like, we have only given the key to the cities to like NBA champions, like Super Bowl MVPs. I know we haven't seen any of them other than the Giants, but I think some of the Giants players did get a key to the city. I think Eli Manning didn't he get a key to the city?
He probably did at some point.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
does
You-
that even mean?
It means literally a piece of paper and you get a large key. But it's literally nothing. But that's like a big award. Like, I know Sandy Alcantara got a key to the city in Miami, but who cares? The Marlins have been shitty their entire career. So like the key to the city and the Marlins is like, hey, win us 15 games this year. But like New Yorkers always hold their key to the city to a very high standards, and giving it to him after only hitting 62 is super, super cool. And don't get me wrong, 62 is a big achievement. But at the end of the day, he has nothing to show for it.
And that's
He didn't win a World
that's
Series.
what my argument is.
But I'm
That's
not. But me saying he's washed is completely different. I'm just saying he didn't deserve that specific medal. You know what I'm saying? He didn't deserve that considered accolade.
And for the record, I did not say he was washed. I said he was a poor playoff performer.
I can pull up the texts of that when we got swept by the Astros. You texted me and Frankie, Aaron Judge is washed. I can pull it up and I'll find it when Frank does tank takes.
Okay, do it. And like everyone watching this podcast knows, sports are an emotional thing.
Sports
Sometimes,
are very emotional for you.
yes, exactly. And do I mean everything I say about Sauce Gardner being arrested, or Aaron Rodgers being washed, or Aaron
Great
Judge
players.
Pretty
being washed?
passionate, so I don't know. Pretty darn passionate.
No, I don't.
So you don't think Aaron
I'm
Rodgers is
just
washed?
passionate about my teams, and
So
I
you don't
want
think he's
them
washed?
to be in the best position possible.
You don't think he's washed?
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks of our time.
Do you think he's washed?
I think he's got a little bit left in the tank.
Jack, you think he's in the Hall of Fame?
First ballot,
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, 100%. But he's washed. He sucks. He should continue with golf.
Let me clear that up, Jack.
Jack's putting his heart in his sleeve right now, and we love it.
All right, tank stakes.
He did go deep in game 4 and 5, so he did kind of do something. He was a slugger in the playoffs. He wasn't a contact guy, which he was all season.
All right, let's
Exactly. The contact person is what our last captain was.
let's
in
be like
addition to
Paul
slugging.
Blart and ride the segue to Tank's takes.
Yeah, but you have two different. You're comparing two different players. You're comparing a guy that I'm done. Frankie, go on.
We finally bounced back. We had a great week of tank stakes. Looking to bring the momentum into next season, of course, into the baseball season as well. We had Chiefs money line. That hit, thank God. Chiefs plus 1.5 also hit. The total score way over 51.5. We also had the 45.5 alternate, which hit, and we did under 57.5, which unfortunately did not hit, but it's all right. Still made it back with the rest here. But the regular props, we went 6 out of 7. The only play to not hit was Noah Gray receiving yards. I said it was a little risky. He did get a catch, but only for 5 or 6 yards, I believe. The rest of the guys all hit. Kelsey receiving
Bless you.
yards, AJ Brown receiving
Sorry.
yards,
Bless you.
Can you shut
Isaiah
up? please?
Pacheco rushing,
was
Gamo
ridiculous.
rushing, AJ Brown touchdown, Kelsey touchdown, all hit. A couple of the specials we had tails never fails. I think all the kickoffs actually wound up being touchbacks, unfortunately. The first coach's challenge was not overturned, even though I kind of thought probably should have been. All the good challenges were just booth reviews, though. It's kind of annoying. And then the largest lead, under 14.5. I think we got to 10 was the biggest lead by the Eagles, but that hit as well, under 14.5. We had the national anthem, under 127 seconds. I believe the final number was like 121, 122. So that was good.
Long. It sounded long. It was honestly a pretty good national anthem. I'll give it.
The two Gatorade bets, blue or orange, neither hit. Somehow it was purple.
I said
got it.
purple.
Very
I said
unfortunate.
purple.
Matt did hit. I think it was the second least likely. I think the last likely was clear, aka white, according to Jack.
Best Gatorade.
Yeah, so
flavor
that
out.
was pretty major. It might have been like plus 1,600 odds for purple. That was pretty
Frank, did
crazy
you
if
get
anyone
that? Did you
wanted
get
to
that
bet
clear Gatorade yet?
I did not.
Very disappointed.
I've been a little preoccupied. Make sure to check out the Twitter account. I posted all the plays on there and the live recaps as the game was going on. Let's see what it's called. It was just Fourth and Gone podcast.
I also have my take for next year's Super Bowl instead of Gatorade. It's gonna be Prime next year.
I
I
wonder who
don't know
got
if
you
they would
that.
do that.
I wonder who got him that bottle.
Yeah, the Twitter is at Fourth and Gone Pod, all one word,
Why do we have pod in our name?
because it's a podcast.
Can they just click on it and find that out? Like, do we need to specify that it's a pod?
Well, Fourth and Gone was taken.
It's not like put a capital somewhere, and then they'll have no
I
idea.
did.
Or buy the rights from that person.
Want it to be all caps or something? No.
Yeah, we'll like scream at him, 4th and gone.
4th and gone pod is perfect. I don't see the problem with that.
It's like Tide Pods, but without the toxicity. Unless you count
Try that
Jack.
challenge today.
Well, what would you rather be 4th and gone cast? Like, I'd rather 4th and gone pod.
That seems pretty cool.
I like pod.
Oh, that's
Well,
all right.
we're the cast to the pod. No, okay.
You
we're
actually are
the-
getting canceled today, so you're
That's terrible.
That's
that is
true.
terrible.
I don't know if you're gonna last much longer, Nick.
Nick, I don't know if Spotify is gonna like be okay.
They actually allow a lot of things go. I was like looking at some like their podcasts. They allow like words that
Spotify
like
probably allows more than YouTube.
like Spotify allows like the C word and stuff like that, and like there's like they're pretty harsh with that on YouTube.
Oh,
They
like,
allow it, then why
see you
don't you
next
say it?
Tuesday.
What happened?
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, that one.
That's getting us canceled, bro.
Yo, we're literally done. Our podcast is over. We went from
It's over
family
before it
friendly.
started, unfortunately.
This guy went out here.
Thanks
blasting
Takes has
it.
one good week and it just blows up.
Guys, come on. My little cousin listens to this podcast religiously. Gotta
Heck,
clean
you
it.
literally cursed like 4 times.
cursed and you said
That's
the
letting
dumbest
you know.
dude.
I'll beep it out.
Just
You
edit
never
this
do.
whole thing out. Don't beep it out. Edit the include the Frank's take, and then just like before we start getting off tangent, just cut it.
It's a lot of work for him. Look, he's already starting to tear up.
Yeah.
He's like, that'll take more than 5 minutes. He's like, I gotta do
Okay,
college work.
okay. If you don't care about your little cousin, just keep it in then.
Stop. He has to do college work.
My birthday's tomorrow. I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
No, can you actually finish it up tomorrow? Because then we can get up by Tuesday. And then we're
Tomorrow
done.
is Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
There's not really a rush anymore.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Can we like film Monday and try to get it up by Tuesday, Wednesday?
We should
Because
probably have a set schedule though, like post
that's
on
what I'm saying.
Wednesdays.
If we film these Mondays at like 8, 9 p.m. is perfect. But like if we're able to do like upload either Tuesday or Wednesday, it would be easier for me and Frank to kind of like and like all the baseball people to kind of correlate what takes we want to take, because we don't want the lines to fluctuate too big.
Yeah.
So like it's a lot easier for us to take like a Wednesday or a Tuesday. Like
sure.
so if we get like it's honestly like if we just try to keep it like almost like live, like we just try to like slim down and like whatever Nick Renato just said. Like, you can cut all this out, Jack. But like
Yeah,
whatever.
edit all this
I'll
out.
probably just wind up posting a bunch of plays on Twitter like the day of each game.
That's what I'm saying. That's easier. But even like we could do like include the Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, or whatever we want to do, like another two, like for a Saturday game or like even a Mets game. Because Nick Renato, you're gonna have to find those lines because me and Frank are, unless Frank wants to look into them.
What lines?
For what?
The Mets stuff. Like because like you and Matt really have to cover the Mets stuff.
I think they got it on the Score app, so I'll be fine.
All right, boys.
Guys,
Yeah, let's get a little quick outro.
Great talking to you today. We covered
Hey.
a very wide base of topics.
A lot
I
of
think,
debate.
I think
did talk a
personally,
lot.
I think this was the most fun I had. in one
No,
day.
let's be honest. Like, if you like this more, like we could do this because I think this is more entertaining for like us. But like, if you like more statistics, which is kind of boring, like just let us know. But it's just kind of going to be harder moving on because there's less to talk about.
But I really like the debate. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and see you next week.
Yeah, later, boys.
See you next week.
See you.